six, five, four, three, two, one. You'll never have the sacred stone. Oh, this you crazy mother.
And hello again, Spidey here with another riveting episode. I'm kidding. This is just a simple list of all the BL and Yaoi movies and short films that I've compiled on a playlist, and we'll just update as they come out. The main thing is, there's a ton of movies and short films on YouTube, and I don't have time to watch them all. What I will do is make sure that the ones that I check to verify that it's at least BL or yaoi or gay romance or basically guys with guys, you know, touching, kissing, feeling, fucking, and so forth. That's all that's going to be on this playlist. Now, you know, and to be fair, I cannot guarantee there won't be any hetero, because a lot of the BL stories are kind of mixed into hetero stories. So on occasion, you might get a show up here that, you know, two of the couples are het and one couple is gay. But either way, the point being that, you know, I'll leave that to your discretion. These are the kinds of films that you should be able to click and watch without having to obtain membership anywhere or, you know, having to verify anything, but should just be able to watch it. And you should be able to tell, like, how long the film is. So, you know, if you've got a couple hours to kill, you can look up there and see, oh, this is a 2-hour movie, and, you know, so be it. Now, just so that, you know, there's no confusion per se. You have to understand that on YouTube, there are oftentimes shows that are listed as movies that aren't really movies. They are either a bunch of episodes of a particular series that were crammed together to make it form into one show instead of like 12 episodes, and people will list that as a movie. So sometimes you'll find that on this list. Sometimes there are segments from a movie where somebody will take the segments out. Like, you know, I can't think of it offhand, but there's movies that are like your normal maybe 2-hour movie, and somebody will try to take out all the segments that pertain to the BL couple, put that together, and then make it a movie or call it a movie. I'm not going to try to figure all that out. So basically what I would suggest is, you know, if you don't recognize the actors right up front, because when people do that, they often will change the name as well. So it's not like you can glance at it and say, oh, you know, that's Together With Me, or, oh, you know, that's Tharn Type, or whatever. You might not be able to tell if they decide to, you know, call it something else and then just put it up there as a movie. But at the end of the day, the point is that this list will only have BL and yaoi and gay romance. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention is that some of the short films are often amateur films. So these are not always like high quality cinema in the movies type films. So just bear that in mind. You know, sometimes you're going to get what's the equivalent of like a garage band presentation. So the only thing I can tell you is that it'll be boys love, or, you know, guy. That's the only rule for it to be on this list, is as long as it's guy. I'm not censoring based on quality or production or how long the show is or any of that. And nor am I going to watch the whole thing. So there may be a few of they had guy and guy through the whole thing, and you get to the end and it's a chick, you know, that kind of thing. I will try to make sure those aren't on here, but like I said, I can't watch all of these. So if one of them slips by and then I watch it later and find out that's what it is, then I'll remove it, even if the majority of the story has to do with the two guys being together. If the end of that story is, you know, a dude with a girl, then, you know, then so be it. Yeah, I can't. There's there's so many of these things right now that's swimming in my head. I can't exactly give you an awesome example of what I mean. Now, on a kind of a sidebar, what this, the main, I guess the goal of this channel overall is to make it so you can find what you're looking for. So I will be using terminology to define certain things, and you'll hear me saying it often so that you'll be able to connect the dots and find what you want. So, for instance, I'm sure on some of these you've heard me say this is a yaoi, whereas on others I've said this is a BL. And even though most people will mix the two together and just not differentiate, I will be using a lot of differentiation throughout the videos in order to make it so that when you're looking for something in particular, like BL in my book is boys love. Love equals a romantic style film, you know, Harlequin type, hand holding, splashing each other, feeding each other pudding pops or whatever. That's a BL in my opinion, and that's what I will be referencing as BL. Yaoi, on the other hand, is usually rough, hardcore, a little bit of non-con, throwing each other on the ground, rolling around, you know, on the beach, or, you know, rough play, you know, guys that are really behaving like guys. That, to me, is yaoi. And gay romance is usually the kind of story that's going to kind of lean more or appeal more to gay men in most cases. I mean, sometimes women will like those as well. But gay romance typically is going to have things like guys that may be a little hairier and more, like I said, appealing to men aesthetically. And the storylines are set more in the real life worlds of what gay men go through, like a reality version. Yaoi and BL are more fictitious. You know, like in a yaoi, the majority of the cast would be all male. And there's one chick and she's the bad guy. In real life, that doesn't happen. It just doesn't. You're not going to go and, you know, an office setting and you've got 5 secretaries and they're all men. That's fiction. Okay, we all know that. You know, or like Two Moons, you know, or, you know, the Moon series. You know that's fiction. There's no way that you're going to have that many guys who are that hot, all in college, that's not an all-boys school, and every last one of them is dating another guy. That's total fiction, and we know it. Whereas a gay romance is more than likely going to lean more towards real stories about real life that pertain to what, you know, would appeal to, you know, gay lifestyle. And unfortunately, most of those are usually you know, sad endings or, you know, stories where you've got the bully aspects, stuff like that. That can't be helped. I don't know why they keep doing that and behaving as if there's not a happy gay couple on the planet. I don't know. I think the closest one I've seen that that I would say would fall into gay romance is like Cutie Pie. Even though both of those characters, like, they're not, you can tell that it is a fictitious story. You know, it's not realistic in that regard. But the reason it still falls under gay romance is because the 2 young men have been slated to be together ever since they were children, and by default, they have decided to live the life of, you know, what it would mean for them to grow up together, be engaged together, and eventually marry each other. So even if they had an interest in women, that is not portrayed in the story anywhere. And nor is it implied that either one of them ever considered dating anyone other than each other. So, you know, and it's a situational story. You know, like I said, it's not necessarily a realistic one, but it does touch on the issues that gay couples in general face in real, even though it is a fictitious version, you know, with the going to college and people noticing the fact that you are engaged to a man and so forth and so on. So that would be a gay romance. You know, it's not really a BL because they don't really exhibit a real love for each other throughout the story. And it's not it's not one of those where you have to like pursue each other and all that kind of stuff that you'd find like Harlequin style, I guess, is, it doesn't quite fit that category. Now I'm going to throw in other kinds of terminology. So like I said, in the long run, it'll be easier, if you join the channel and you start trying to, use all the different lists that I intend to create, because I'll have lists that are, the movies and the short films, the ones that you have to pay to play, so that you already know you got to pay for it if you want to watch it. So if you see one that you're interested in, you could check that list just to make sure you're not going to get stuck halfway through and then suddenly have to open your wallet to see the ending. There will be series that are like 1/4 BLs for some of those. I'm not going to do a lot of those, but where there's a, there might be a gay couple within the story. So if you want to watch it, and all that will be listed together. Your bromances, the comrade type movies, where the two guys are so close that they are best friends, but it's not really love, but it's still guys. I will list those, but I will let you know in advance. That way, you're not waiting for these two to get engaged or something, because at the end of the day, they're not. They're just really close friends. You get a lot of that out of areas and regions where they really crack down on anything gay, which by now you'd think, can you guys please get over it? Like, get out of people's bedrooms, for God's sakes. I don't understand where did we lose the notion of live and let live? I'm just saying. But anyway, I'm not going on the tangent. The point is that that's what this list is. This list would be movies and so forth. And hopefully, I can encourage people to practice the use of terminology that will start to, kind of streamline the genre, so that we don't have everything thrown in together, and then you get ready to watch something and the guy turns out to like a girl at the end, or it's not really a guy, it's a girl in a guy's body, or that it's like, oh my God, can we sort this out so that you get what you want when you want it, because we all like it. But it would be cool to, if you're in the mood for it, then you can get the one you're in the mood for. And you're not always stuck kind of, defaulting to or watching things that wasn't quite what, like you got the ad that makes it look like, oh yeah, this is going to be hot and heavy. And it turns out, no, not at all. They're just good friends who play basketball and they won the championship. Congrats. It's like, oh, gee, thanks. So anyway, I'm not going to rattle on and on. I was just letting you know that's what this list is for. And, just keep a heads up. And if I list the movie just because it showed up as a movie and then it turns out that it's not quite what they implied, then I'll just remove it. And if you see one on here that damn well is not, and then just leave it in the comment section and I'll remove it. That should be about it. And just stay tuned that I'll be listing a lot of stuff on this channel to just make it easier for fans, because ultimately that's what it's all about. Just getting what you want when you want it and being able to enjoy it when you want to enjoy it. So, well, that being said, I hope you have a good one and I'll see you in the next one.